The notification pings on my phone screen at 11:47 on a Tuesday night. 3 words that shatter everything. We need to talk. I thought I knew everything about my marriage. My husband Marcus sits across from me at our kitchen table, the same table where we've shared thousands of meals, planned vacations, discussed our dreams. His wedding ring catches the overhead light as he runs his fingers through his dark hair. The gesture I once found endearing now feels like a warning. I've been thinking about this for months, he begins, his voice steady and clinical. I want a divorce. The words hang between us like smoke from a fire I didn't know was burning. My coffee mug grows cold in my hands as I process what he just said. 8 years of marriage, 2 beautiful children sleeping upstairs, a life we built together brick by careful brick. How long have you been planning this? I ask, surprised by how calm my voice sounds. Marcus shifts in his chair, avoiding my eyes. Since Christmas, maybe before, I just haven't been happy for a while. Christmas. That was 6 months ago. 6 months of him kissing me goodbye every morning, attending our daughter's soccer games, planning our summer vacation to the lake house. 6 months of living a lie while I believed we were working through a rough patch like any married couple does. Is there someone else? The question slips out before I can stop it. He hesitates just long enough to give me my answer. It's complicated, Sarah. I need space to figure things out. Space. The word tastes bitter in my mouth. Space to figure out what exactly? Whether the woman you've been seeing behind my back is worth destroying our family? That night, I lie awake staring at the ceiling while Marcus sleeps peacefully beside me. How does someone sleep so soundly after detonating their spouse's entire world? I count his breaths, study the familiar slope of his shoulders, and wonder when this stranger replaced the man I married. By morning, something inside me has crystallized. Not anger, not devastation, but something sharper. Clarity. Marcus leaves for work at his usual time, coffee travel mug in hand, briefcase slung over his shoulder. He kisses my cheek like he has every morning for 8 years. The performance is flawless. After dropping the kids at school, I drive straight to my sister Emma's house. She takes one look at my face and pours 2 cups of coffee without saying a word. He wants a divorce, I tell her, settling onto her familiar couch. Emma's coffee mug freezes halfway to her lips. What? When did this happen? Last night. Apparently, he's been thinking about it since Christmas. My sister sets down her coffee and moves closer. What are you going to do? The question I've been asking myself all morning. What am I going to do? Roll over and let him dismantle our life while he figures out his feelings. Beg him to reconsider while he's already moved on emotionally? Accept whatever scraps of our marriage he's willing to leave behind? I'm going to fight, I say, the words surprising me with their conviction, but not the way he expects. Emma raises an eyebrow. What does that mean? It means Marcus thinks he holds all the cards. He's been planning this for months, while I've been living in ignorance. He assumes I'll be the devastated wife who falls apart, while he gets to be the reasonable one, asking for an amicable split. I take a long sip of coffee, organizing my thoughts. He has no idea what he's unleashed. That afternoon, I make 3 phone calls that will change everything. The first is to Janet Morrison, the best divorce attorney in our city. Her reputation precedes her, known for protecting her clients' interests with surgical precision. Mrs. Thompson, Janet's voice is crisp and professional. I can see you Thursday at 2 o'clock. Bring financial documents, tax returns from the last 5 years, and any evidence of assets or unusual expenditures. The second call is to my college roommate, Lisa, now a certified forensic accountant who specializes in uncovering hidden assets in divorce cases. Marcus works in commercial real estate development, a field notorious for creative financial arrangements. Sarah. Lisa sounds delighted to hear from me. It's been too long. What can I do for you? I need you to take apart my husband's financial life, I tell her. Every account, every investment, every business deal. I want to know where every dollar goes. The third call requires more courage. I dial the number for Marcus's company directory and ask to be connected to human resources. This is Jennifer in HR. How can I help you? I'd like to request information about your employee assistance programs, specifically regarding family counseling and legal benefits. What I don't mention is that I'm also gathering intelligence about Marcus's work schedule, his travel patterns, and his professional relationships. Information that will prove invaluable in the weeks ahead. That evening, Marcus comes home to find dinner on the table, the kids doing homework, everything exactly as it should be. I greet him with a smile that doesn't quite reach my eyes. "How was your day?" I ask, serving his favorite meal. "Fine," he replies, studying my face for signs of the breakdown he's probably expecting. "Work was busy." I nod sympathetically. "Is the Henderson project keeping you late again?" Something flickers across his features. "Actually, that wrapped up last week." Interesting. According to his company's public filings, the Henderson project isn't scheduled to complete until next month. The lie lands between us like a stone dropped in still water. Over the next week, I become a detective in my own life. I discover that Marcus has been working late on projects that don't exist. I find restaurant receipts for meals I didn't share, charged to our joint credit card with the casual confidence of someone who assumes his wife doesn't pay attention to financial details. The most damaging discovery comes when I'm looking for our insurance papers in Marcus's home office. Hidden behind a row of real estate development books, I find a folder containing apartment rental applications, all filled out in Marcus's handwriting, all dated from 2 months ago. He hasn't just been thinking about divorce since Christmas. He's been actively planning his exit strategy, complete with a new apartment 3 miles from our house. Close enough to maintain his relationship with our children, far enough to start fresh with whoever has been occupying his time during those fake work emergencies. I photograph every document with my phone, my hands steady, despite the betrayal burning in my chest. This marriage isn't just ending anymore, it's being dismantled. This is about deception, about the calculated way he's been dismantling our life, while maintaining the pretense of trying to work things out. Thursday arrives faster than I expect. Janet Morrison's law office occupies the top floor of a downtown building with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. She's exactly what I imagined, silver-haired and sharp-eyed, with the kind of presence that commands attention. "Tell me everything," she says, settling behind her mahogany desk. I spread out the financial documents, the photographs of rental applications, the timeline I've constructed of Marcus's deception. Janet reviews each piece methodically, making notes in precise handwriting. "Your husband has been planning this for quite some time," she observes. "These apartment applications suggest premeditation. The separate account he opened last month indicates financial preparation." I lean forward. "What does that mean for me?" "It means we have leverage." Courts don't look favorably on spouses who engage in deceptive financial planning before filing for divorce, especially when minor children are involved. Janet explains the concept of dissipation of marital assets, how Marcus's secret planning could work in my favor. She outlines strategies for protecting our children's interests, for ensuring I'm not left financially vulnerable while he starts his new life. For the first time since that Tuesday night conversation, I feel something other than betrayal. I feel powerful. The meeting lasts 2 hours, and by the end, I have a clear plan. By the time I leave Janet's office, I have a comprehensive legal strategy and a clear understanding of my rights. More importantly, I have a plan that Marcus never saw coming. That evening, I sit at our kitchen table reviewing Janet's notes while Marcus helps our daughter with her math homework. The domestic scene feels surreal now that I know it's all temporary, all built on lies he's been telling for months. My phone buzzes with a text message. It's from Emma. "How did the meeting go?" I type back quickly. "Better than expected." Operation Divorce Defense officially begins tomorrow. The next phase of my plan requires careful timing. Marcus has no idea that I've been documenting his deception, that I've hired the best legal representation in the city, that I've begun protecting our assets and our children's future. He thinks he's been clever, planning his escape while keeping me in the dark. What he doesn't realize is that I've been watching, learning, preparing. Tomorrow, everything changes. The morning sun filters through our bedroom curtains as I watch Marcus get ready for work. He adjusts his tie in the mirror, the same routine he's performed thousands of times. Except today, I know exactly where he's going and why. At precisely 9:15, I receive the call I've been waiting for. Lisa's voice crackles through my phone with barely contained excitement. "Sarah, you need to sit down for this. I've been digging through your husband's financial records for the past week, and what I found is remarkable." I settle into my home office chair, pen poised over a legal pad. "Tell me everything. Marcus has been very busy," she begins. 3 separate bank accounts opened in the last 6 months, all with minimal initial deposits to avoid triggering reporting requirements. There's also a safe deposit box rented under his name only, which suggests he's been moving physical assets. My pen scratches against paper as I document each revelation. The husband who claims he wants an amicable divorce has been systematically hiding marital property. But here's the interesting part, Lisa continues. He's been funding these accounts through his business expense reimbursements, fake receipts, inflated travel costs, non-existent client dinners. I estimate he's diverted at least $40,000 from your joint finances over the past 4 months. The number hits me like a physical blow. $40,000. Money that should have gone toward our children's college funds, our mortgage, our family's future. Instead, it's been financing his secret exit strategy. "There's more," Lisa says. "I found property records showing he's been looking at condominiums downtown. Not just browsing, Sarah. He put a deposit on a unit last month. $5,000 from one of those hidden accounts." I close my eyes, absorbing the magnitude of his deception. This isn't the impulsive decision of an unhappy spouse. This is financial fraud committed against his own family. "Can you document all of this for court?" I ask. "Already done. I've prepared a comprehensive forensic accounting report that traces every suspicious transaction. Your attorney will love this." After ending the call, I sit in my office surrounded by the evidence of Marcus's betrayal. Bank statements, property records, expense reports, all painting a picture of calculated deception. The man I married, the father of my children, has been stealing from us while pretending to be a devoted husband. My phone rings again. This time it's Janet Morrison. "Sarah, I have reviewed Lisa's preliminary findings. We need to meet immediately. What your husband has done goes beyond simple asset hiding. This could be considered marital misconduct." 2 hours later, I'm back in Janet's office, this time with a thick folder of Lisa's forensic evidence. Janet spreads the documents across her conference table like a detective examining clues at a crime scene. "This changes everything," she says, tapping her pen against Marcus's bank statements. "We're not just dealing with divorce anymore. We're dealing with potential fraud charges." She explains how Marcus's financial deception could impact the divorce proceedings. Courts have broad authority to punish spouses who dissipate marital assets through secret accounts and fraudulent expenses. "We can seek immediate injunctive relief," Janet continues, "freeze his access to all accounts, require him to disclose every financial transaction from the past year, and potentially seek sanctions for his misconduct." The legal terminology swirls around me, but the core message is clear. Marcus thought he was playing chess while I played checkers. He had no idea I'd learned the game. "What's our timeline?" I ask. "We file tomorrow morning. By noon, Marcus will receive papers requiring him to appear in court and explain his financial activities. He'll also be served with temporary restraining orders protecting all remaining marital assets." I imagine Marcus's face when a process server arrives at his office with legal documents. The shock, the realization that his carefully constructed plan has been exposed. The moment he understands that I'm not the naive wife he's been manipulating for months. That evening, Marcus arrives home later than usual. His face carries the stress of someone whose secret life is becoming increasingly complicated. "How was your day?" I ask, setting his dinner plate on the table with practiced domesticity. "Long," he replies, loosening his tie. "The Morrison deal is requiring more attention than expected." Another lie. I know from my research that there is no Morrison deal. Marcus's afternoon was likely spent with whoever has been occupying his time during these fabricated work emergencies. I nod sympathetically. These big projects can be so demanding. I'm just grateful you're providing so well for our family. The irony hangs in the air. Marcus providing for our family by stealing from our joint accounts to fund his secret apartment and hidden assets. After dinner, I help our children with their homework while Marcus retreats to his office. Through the thin walls, I can hear him on the phone, his voice low and urgent, probably reassuring his girlfriend that everything is proceeding according to plan. What he doesn't know is that my plan is already in motion now. At midnight, I review Janet's final strategy memo one last time. Tomorrow, Marcus's world changes permanently. The legal papers will be served at his office during the lunch hour, ensuring maximum professional embarrassment. The restraining orders will freeze his access to the hidden accounts he spent months establishing. But the most devastating revelation is yet to come. Lisa's investigation uncovered something even Marcus's girlfriend doesn't know. The downtown condominium he purchased with stolen marital funds? It's not just for him. According to the mortgage application, he listed her as a co-applicant, using her income to qualify for the loan. That means she's an unwitting participant in his financial fraud. When the court orders come down, she'll discover that her boyfriend has been using stolen money to finance their romantic hideaway. The relationship that began with deception will likely end the same way. I close the legal files and head upstairs. Marcus is already asleep, breathing deeply with the relaxation of someone who believes his secrets are safe. Tomorrow, he'll learn that I've been 3 steps ahead all along. Our bedroom feels different now, charged with the knowledge that this phase of our life is ending. Not because Marcus decided it was time, but because I'm taking control of the narrative. The woman who sat shocked at this kitchen table a week ago, absorbing the news of her husband's desire for divorce, no longer exists. In her place is someone who understands that being betrayed doesn't mean being powerless. Marcus wanted a divorce? He's going to get one. Just not the version he planned. The alarm pierces the morning silence at 6:30, just like every other Thursday for the past 8 years. Marcus stirs beside me, reaching reflexively for his phone to silence the sound. His movements are automatic, practiced. The choreography of a man who thinks his routine is unbreakable. "Good morning," I murmur, my voice carrying the same gentle warmth it has every morning of our marriage. He grunts in response, already mentally elsewhere, probably calculating how many hours until he can escape to his secret life, the one funded by money stolen from our children's future. I slip out of bed and pad downstairs to start coffee, each step measured and deliberate. Today is the day Marcus discovers that his wife has been paying attention after all. The kitchen fills with the familiar aroma of dark roast as I prepare breakfast with unusual care. Scrambled eggs exactly how he likes them. Wheat toast cut diagonally, fresh orange juice in his favorite glass. A condemned man's last meal, though he doesn't know it yet. Our daughter Emma bounds into the kitchen at 7:15, her backpack trailing behind her like a loyal pet. At 9 years old, she radiates the kind of energy that only exists before the world teaches you to dim your light. "Mom, can you braid my hair for picture day?" she asks, settling into her usual chair. "Of course, sweetheart." I smooth her golden hair between my fingers, the same shade as mine, weaving it into the intricate pattern she prefers. These moments feel precious now, weighted with the knowledge that our family structure is about to change forever. Marcus appears in his navy suit, the one that makes his shoulders look broader and his eyes bluer. He kisses the top of Emma's head and squeezes our son Jake's shoulder before turning to me. "Running late today," he says, grabbing his travel mug. "Might be home later than usual." Another lie. delivered with the casual confidence of someone who assumes his deception is undetected. According to Lisa's investigation, Marcus has no meetings scheduled today. His afternoon is completely clear. Drive safely, I reply, rising on my toes to kiss his cheek. The gesture feels surreal, like an actress playing a role in a play where she's already read the final act. After the kids leave for school and Marcus drives away in his silver sedan, I allow myself 5 minutes of absolute stillness. The house settles around me, creaking with the weight of secrets about to be exposed. My phone buzzes at exactly 9 o'clock. Janet Morrison's voice is crisp with professional satisfaction. Everything is in motion, Sarah. The process server will arrive at Marcus's office at noon. The restraining orders have been filed with the court. By this afternoon, every account he's been hiding will be frozen. A strange calm settles over me. After days of preparation, the machinery of justice is finally turning. What happens next? I ask, settling into my home office chair. Marcus will have 24 hours to respond to the court summons. He'll need to provide documentation for every financial transaction from the past year, every fake expense report, every hidden deposit, every dollar he's diverted from your family. The comprehensive nature of the legal response astounds me. Marcus spent months planning his secret exit, but my team has unraveled his entire strategy in a week. There's something else, Janet continues. Lisa discovered that Marcus has been using your joint credit cards to pay for his girlfriend's expenses. Restaurant bills, shopping trips, even what appears to be jewelry purchases. This adds another layer to the financial misconduct charges. I close my eyes, absorbing this fresh betrayal. Not only has Marcus been stealing our money to fund his new life, he's been using our shared accounts to romance another woman. The audacity is breathtaking. At 10:30, I receive a call from Emma's school. She's forgotten her science project at home and needs it for her afternoon presentation. The request gives me the perfect excuse to visit Marcus's office building. I park across the street from his company's glass tower, science project carefully positioned on my passenger seat. Through the lobby windows, I can see the usual flow of business people moving with purpose, unaware that one of their colleagues is about to have his world shattered. At exactly noon, I watch a woman in a professional suit approach the reception desk, the process server, punctual as promised. She carries a manila envelope and a determined expression that suggests she's done this hundreds of times before. 10 minutes later, my phone rings. It's Marcus, his voice tight with confusion and barely controlled panic. Sarah, I just received some legal papers at work. There's been some kind of mistake. These documents claim I've been hiding money and committing financial fraud. His voice carries the same tone he uses when he's genuinely baffled by a work problem or can't locate his car keys. The performance is almost convincing. That sounds serious, I reply, keeping my voice level. What kind of papers? Divorce papers, restraining orders, something about forensic accounting. This is insane. I never did any of the things they're claiming. The lies flow so smoothly, I almost admire his commitment to the deception. Even faced with documented evidence, Marcus maintains his innocence with unwavering conviction. Maybe you should come home so we can discuss this properly, I suggest. I can't leave work right now. There's too much happening. Can you call this attorney and tell them there's been a mistake? I'm afraid that's not how legal proceedings work, Marcus. If you've been served with court documents, you need to respond through your own attorney. The silence stretches between us, heavy with the weight of his rapidly crumbling facade. When he speaks again, his voice has changed. The confident husband has been replaced by someone who's beginning to understand the magnitude of his situation. Sarah, we need to talk tonight, after the kids go to bed. Of course, I agree. We have a lot to discuss. The call ends, leaving me sitting in my car with a profound sense of completion. The first phase of Operation Divorce Defense has concluded perfectly. Marcus is confused, cornered, and completely unprepared for what comes next. I deliver Emma's science project and return home to find a voicemail from Lisa. Her voice bubbles with the excitement of a major discovery. Sarah, call me immediately. I found something that changes everything. Marcus's girlfriend isn't just a casual affair. She's his business partner in a property investment scheme that's been using your marital assets as collateral. The revelation stops me cold. This isn't just infidelity and financial deception. This is a comprehensive fraud operation that involves multiple parties and potentially criminal behavior. I dial Lisa's number with trembling fingers, my mind racing through the implications. "Tell me everything," I say when she answers. Her name is Victoria Chen, and she works in commercial real estate financing. Marcus has been using her connections to secure investment loans. But here's the crucial part. He's been listing your family home as collateral without your knowledge or consent. The blood drains from my face. Our house, the home where my children sleep, has been secretly pledged as security for Marcus's business ventures. How is that even legal? I ask, though I already suspect the answer. "It's not," Lisa confirms. Forging a spouse's signature on loan documents is federal fraud. Marcus could be facing criminal charges, not just divorce proceedings. The scope of his deception expands beyond anything I imagined. This isn't just about ending our marriage or hiding assets. Marcus has been systematically looting our family's security to build a new life with another woman. "Can you document all of this for court?" I ask. "Already done. I have copies of the loan applications, the forged signatures, and the property records. Your attorney is going to have a field day with this evidence." After ending the call, I sit in stunned silence. The man I married, the father of my children, has been engaged in activities that could send him to prison. The realization is both devastating and empowering. At 3:30, I pick up our children from school with forced normalcy. Emma chatters about her science presentation, while Jake describes his soccer practice plans. Their innocent joy feels like a shield against the chaos their father has created. That evening, Marcus arrives home carrying flowers and wearing the expression of someone who spent his afternoon consulting with lawyers. The bouquet is elaborate, probably expensive, definitely purchased with guilt money. "These are beautiful," I say, accepting the roses with a smile that doesn't reach my eyes. "Sarah, we need to talk about those legal papers. There's been a serious misunderstanding." I arrange the flowers in our crystal vase, the one we received as a wedding gift from his grandmother. The irony of using a symbol of our union to hold his apology flowers isn't lost on me. After dinner and homework supervision, we tuck our children into bed with extra hugs and longer stories. Jake asks if everything is okay because Daddy seems worried. The perceptiveness of children never fails to amaze me. "Everything will be fine, sweetheart," I assure him, smoothing his dark hair. Sometimes grown-ups have complicated problems to solve, but you don't need to worry about any of that. Once the kids are asleep, Marcus and I settle in the living room. He sits on the edge of our leather sofa, hands clasped between his knees like a penitent in church. "Sarah, I need you to understand something. Those legal documents contain serious accusations that simply aren't true. I've never stolen money from our family or forged your signature on anything." The conviction in his voice is remarkable. Even now, Marcus maintains his innocence with the dedication of a method actor who's forgotten he's playing a role. I study his face, searching for cracks in the performance. The man who once promised to love and protect me is now lying to my face about crimes he's committed against our family. "Marcus," I say quietly, "I know about Victoria Chen." The color drains from his face so rapidly I worry he might faint. His mouth opens and closes without sound, like a fish pulled from water. I know about the secret bank accounts, the hidden apartment, the property investments using our house as collateral. I know about the $40,000 you've stolen from our joint finances over the past 4 months. Each revelation hits him like a physical blow. His shoulders slump as the weight of his exposed deception settles over him. "How?" he whispers, the single word carrying the defeat of someone whose carefully constructed lies have crumbled. "Did you really think I wouldn't notice? That I'd sit quietly while you dismantled our life to build a new one with another woman?" Marcus buries his face in his hands, his breathing shallow and rapid. When he finally looks up, his eyes are wet with tears I can't determine are genuine or performative. Sarah, please let me explain. It's not what you think. The plea hangs between us, desperate and hollow. After months of deception, he wants me to believe that his explanation will somehow justify the unjustifiable. I lean back in my chair, studying the man who destroyed our marriage while pretending to be a devoted husband. The balance of power in our relationship has shifted permanently. He's no longer the one planning our future. I am. Actually, Marcus, there's no explanation that justifies what you've done. I rise from my chair, moving to the window that overlooks our backyard, where our children's swing set stands silhouetted against the evening sky. The same yard where we hosted birthday parties and barbecues, where we built sandboxes and planted gardens together. You forged my signature on loan documents. You used our home as collateral for your business ventures with your girlfriend. You've been systematically stealing from our children's future to finance your affair. Marcus stands abruptly, pacing to the fireplace where our wedding photos still line the mantel. His reflection wavers in the glass, covering our smiling faces from 8 years ago. I never meant for it to go this far, he says, his voice cracking. It started as a simple real estate investment. Victoria had connections, opportunities that could have made us wealthy. Us? I turned to face him, my voice sharp with disbelief. When exactly were you planning to include me in these investment opportunities? Before or after you moved into your secret apartment? His shoulders sag further. The apartment was just temporary, a place to think, to figure out what I wanted. What you wanted was already decided months ago. You wanted Victoria, you wanted her business connections, and you wanted our family's assets to make it all possible. The accusations hang between us like smoke in a closed room. Marcus slumps back onto the sofa, his confident facade completely shattered. This is the man who kissed me goodbye every morning while secretly planning to destroy everything we'd built together. My phone buzzes with a text message. It's from Janet Morrison, sent precisely at 9 o'clock as promised. Phase 2 documents filed. Court hearing scheduled for Monday morning. Everything is proceeding as planned. Marcus notices my glance at the phone. What happens now? He asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Now you face the consequences of your choices. Monday morning, you'll appear in court to explain your financial misconduct to a judge. You'll also discover that Victoria's been served with papers regarding her role in the fraudulent loan applications. His head snaps up. You involve Victoria? Victoria involved herself the moment she helped forge my signature and used our home as collateral. She's as responsible for this fraud as you are. The realization that his girlfriend will face legal consequences alongside him seems to break something inside Marcus. He doubles over as if physically ill, his breathing ragged and desperate. Sarah, please, we can work this out privately. We don't need courts and lawyers. Think about the kids. The manipulation attempt is so transparent, it almost makes me laugh. After months of deception, he wants to invoke our children's welfare as a reason to avoid accountability. I thought about the kids when I discovered you'd stolen money from their college funds. I thought about them when I learned you'd put their home at risk for your business schemes. Where was your concern for them during the past 6 months of lies? Marcus looks up at me with eyes that seem genuinely confused by my transformation. The compliant wife who accepted his explanations without question has been replaced by someone who sees through every manipulation attempt. You're different, he says, as if just realizing the depth of change in our dynamic. I'm exactly who I've always been. The difference is that I'm no longer willing to ignore reality for the sake of keeping peace. I move toward the stairs, signaling that this conversation has reached its conclusion. The evidence has been presented, the legal machinery is in motion, and Marcus's carefully constructed deception has been completely exposed. Where are you going? He asks, panic creeping into his voice. To check on our children, the ones whose future you've been gambling away while pretending to be a devoted father. At the bottom of the staircase, I pause and look back at the man who shared my bed for 8 years, while planning to abandon our family. He sits hunched on our sofa, surrounded by the detritus of his collapsed lies. Marcus, you asked for a divorce because you weren't happy. Congratulations. You're about to get exactly what you wanted, just not the way you planned it. The next morning brings an unexpected visitor. I'm reviewing legal documents at my kitchen table when the doorbell rings. Through the frosted glass, I can make out a woman's silhouette, tall and elegant, holding what appears to be a large envelope. I open the door to find Victoria Chen standing on my porch. She's even more beautiful in person than in the photographs Lisa uncovered during her investigation. Dark hair swept into a professional chignon, expensive suit that probably costs more than my monthly mortgage payment, and eyes that carry the desperate urgency of someone whose world has just imploded. Mrs. Thompson, her voice is steady despite the obvious stress. I'm Victoria Chen. I believe we need to talk. The audacity is breathtaking. The woman who helped my husband defraud our family wants to have a conversation on my front porch. I study her face, looking for signs of the calculation that enabled her to participate in Marcus's schemes. I'm not sure we have anything to discuss, I reply, keeping my voice pleasant but firm. Victoria glances around nervously, as if expecting photographers to emerge from the landscaping. Please, just 5 minutes. There are things about Marcus you don't know. Sometimes the people we trust most are the ones planning our destruction while we sleep peacefully beside them. Marcus wanted a divorce, but he never expected me to uncover the web of lies, fraud, and betrayal he'd woven around our marriage. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. And when they try to destroy everything you've built together, don't just fight back. Fight smarter. Have you ever discovered someone wasn't who you thought they were? Share your story in the comments.